One thing that Donald Trump said that he would be incredibly supportive of is individuals who face persecution in predominantly Muslim countries simply because they're Christians. Well, that was an interesting statement to make considering the fact that ICE officials under the Trump administration have been rounding up Iraqi Christians and deporting them back to Iraq, where they not only face persecution, but they face terrorist organizations like ISIS that want to do away with them. Now, according to reports, dozens of Iraqi Christians and other immigrants were seized over this past weekend in a series of ICE raids, many of which took place in Michigan. Now, Michigan does have a large Middle Eastern population, and so it's not surprising that they specifically went to that area in order to round these people up and deport them. Now, one individual says that this is a deliberate attack on the Catholic Assyrian community of Detroit by the administration. They waited until Sunday when our community would be going to church and gathering with their families and have rounded up 40 to 60 community members. Now, people are very concerned about this because of what they have to deal with and what they'd have to face once they are deported. But of course, they haven't been deported yet. Right now, they're detained in our lovely prison system because, you know, people got to make money off detaining immigrants before we deport them. So that's what's really going on.
Some are scheduled to be deported back to Mosul.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's great. I wonder what the reception at the airport there is going to be like.
I mean, come on. If you bought into anything Trump said and don't understand the fact that he's a fraud at this point, sure. I mean, what more? How much more evidence do you need? First of all, I don't care what your religious background is. I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're Jewish. I don't care if you're Pastafarian. Whatever it is, right? Is it Pastafarian? That one with the strainer and everything? Yeah, Pastafarian. No one.
Wait, so that you're talking about like these are like Rastafarians, but who like pasta?
Yeah.
That's a real thing?
Well, I mean, they're anti-religious, like they're trying to make a point about how ridiculous religion is. But regardless,
with carbs.
Doesn't matter. I mean,
exactly. Yeah. I love pasta.
I love pasta too. It's the best religion. Actually.
Don't let us not derail your train of thought.
I mean, derailed already. Yeah. But the point that I was trying to make is no one, regardless of their political ideology or religion, should face any type of persecution in any country, right? And so the fact that Trump, began the conversation with Iraqi Muslims bad, but Christian Muslims good. Christian Muslims I'll look out for. The other
Christian,
ones,
Christian.
I mean, I'm sorry, Christian Iraqis.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, that was a ridiculous place to start the conversation. But the fact that he didn't even follow through on his protection of Christians is insane.
Right. Well, he's not Christian.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that was the first lie, right? Is that you aren't Christian. Whatever Bible verse he incorrectly tried to cite, that
2 Corinthians.
Right.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite Corinthians. I also like 6 Corinthians. It's a good one too.
It's like what are we talking? So he's
4 better than 2
consistently
Corinthians.
A fraud. So if you bought into this idea that he would protect Christians, then you are just mistaken.
Yeah, everything's a fraud. Everything, you're right. But and again, I say this every time, but there may be some people who haven't seen it before. There's no way that a police organization in this country gets to have a cool name like ICE. And I'm not kidding. It is because it is a suggestion again that they're badass because we have a badass name. Like being a police officer and having the authority to, on a Sunday while people are worshiping in their church, to go in and yank people out and handcuff them and then put them on a bus and send them from Michigan where you grabbed them to a federal prison in Ohio so that you can deport them to Mosul or to Crete or wherever you're sent, or Baghdad or wherever you're sending them, right? Whether it's going into harm's way or not, you don't get to feel like you're in a band. Like it's not cool. It's a serious, sober job. You don't get to show off, and we don't get to come up with cool names for police. Like here's a name, FBI, fine. Federal Bureau of Investigation. It doesn't get to be neat, and they deliberately came up. We know they did. They didn't call it, hey, Immigration's Customs Enforcement. Ooh, wait, cool, that's ICE. Like they came up with the badass name first, so you can kick down a door and feel like a man. I'm not talking about the agents. I really do. I respect police officers and the difficult work they do, but you don't get to be. It's not a cool thing.
Right, to destroy people's lives.
Right, to destroy, and it's a suggestion. Part of that thing is that like, high five, look at us, we're badass. It grosses me out that we do that.
What's in TYT membership? Not gonna tell you. Only one way to find out. TYTnetwork.com/join.